What's up guys, it's Joy Taylor PT, and today we've got a bit of a different video because normally while I'm PT and talk a lot about physical health, today is more about mental health. Now, as you can tell by the glorious 4K definition video we're shooting right here, I've just recently picked up the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now, when I picked this up, I decided to use this as a bit of an opportunity for a digital declutter. I deleted half of my apps, I put the existing ones inside folders for like health, finance, well-being, and all that sort of stuff. And it's actually got me thinking. I looked around the rest of my life, both physical possessions, daily minutiae, and I realized, you know what? I actually feel so overwhelmed. I feel like my life is just beyond cluttered. So once November hit, I just decided to spend 1 week just smashing this declutter in every aspect of my life. And even though now it's only the 10th of November when I'm shooting this video, I already feel so much more at ease. So guys, in this video, I'm gonna run through this declutter that I've gone through, and I think we're just gonna show you what I did. Let's go. So my initial DVD collection came because I used to work at a shop called CEX. Now, if you're from the UK, you'll know it's like a distributor of secondhand DVDs and Blu-ray, and you can normally buy them for like 50 pence to a quid. So it made sense to me, instead of trying to find a dodgy link, to just buy a film for 50 pence, and if it sucked, bin it. If it was good, keep it. Now, the only problem is a lot of films are good, and it's hard to determine which ones are worth keeping, so you end up just keeping them all. Now, the cost as well, that was also the thing. As with any addiction or hobby, it starts off cheap and it starts getting pretty expensive when you start to get into the more boutique Blu-ray kind of stuff like this. But ironically, it was the big, thick, expensive ones that stopped me turning into such a hoarder, because I would much rather have the big, luxurious sets than the more generic DVDs. End of the day, if you look at this Crimson Peak box set, it's got hundreds of pages of like awesome booklets and stuff that you can read again and again, versus a DVD where it's just literally the disc. Now, yeah, I might rewatch the film at a later date, but realistically, there's so many. Because I've gotten rid of this DVD that doesn't bring me any joy, it doesn't cease to exist, so I can still find the movie on Netflix or Disney Plus, which I'm paying for. Now, books are a big one as well. Now, there's so many books out there, and I think self-help has this narrative that books can change your life, when really sometimes I think it's just good to read them once and then just pretty much bin them off, like, because in charity shops you can get books for like 50 pence, and again, they're just so easy to accumulate. So I think it's good to do some soul searching with books and think realistically, which ones of these am I going to read again? Don't worry guys, this arduous task of decluttering hasn't drove me to the drink. I just want to make an analogy. The rum bottle is you. The rum inside the bottle is your energy and your output, and all these different glasses, which by the way are also going to get decluttered after this video. If you're hanging on to these Nutella jars, you don't need them. Get rid of them. Anyway, these are different aspects of your life, whether that's family, work, friends, free time. And if you've got a nicely balanced life, once you pour your energy into these different areas of your life, ideally they should be quite level, they should be quite even, and most importantly, there should be some room/energy left in you by the time you've refilled all of these. So you can still have some time to yourself, you can still have some energy. But you might find yourself nowadays, with life being so crazy, you might find yourself with more glasses. So with these new glasses, you might find yourself struggling to fill them all because you find yourself kind of half-assing them all, making a mess. Some are more full than others. Before you know it, this glass has nothing in it. You find that over time, you're trying to juggle all these things, when realistically, dude, it might just make sense, just like I'm going to do with these, to just get rid of certain areas of your life altogether if you can. Some things might not serve you anymore. You know, you might have some like toxic friends, you might have like a side hustle that's not really working for you. You might, you know, have to accept some hard truths. But overall, as a result of getting rid of those, you're going to have less glasses to fill and a more balanced life. And more importantly, more room for yourself. So why the philosophical analogy? Well, because I'm a PT. So by the time I've put my clients and family and friends first, I come home and I just can't be bothered. And ironically, if I had have left a little bit of energy in my jar, when I came back home, I could have probably chipped away at this whole decluttering thing so much sooner, and it would have been so much easier rather than dedicating a full life and all of this energy to just like, oh God, I've got to get rid of all of this stuff. All right, so one area in my life where I'm never going to be a minimalist is my food, dude. So basically on a Monday after chest and back, what I do is I go to Peel Retail Park, where fortunately B&M and Lidl are 2 seconds away from each other. And I pretty much just get like a weekly shop. Now, obviously most of this will be gone by the day, but some of these things will last me for a good few days, like the jelly, the tinned potatoes. But I just thought I'd run you guys through my food and kind of a few quick ways on how to save money. Now, I used to have loads of Greek yogurt, but instead I've changed it up for quark. Now, the cheese puts people off, but this is actually pretty much just like a Greek yogurt anyway. Same macros, same calories, and it's a little bit cheaper as well. So instead of spending a bit extra for the yogurt, I'll just have that with some flavour drops in. We've got some eggs. Now, I must admit, I'm not very PETA friendly because I use the caged ones. I probably shouldn't, but again, you know, economically, it's just so much cheaper. I used to buy egg whites, but I find for the extra like £2 cost, it's not worth it. It's £1 for 15 eggs, and for the extra 30 seconds it takes to crack them, it's a small price I'm willing to pay. We also have the salad. Now the lettuce is normally about like 40 pence, and I think every time I've been a Lidl, you can get some stuff in the whoopsie aisle because it's got to be used by today. But you know what? That's my lunch, so that's fine. I've got some nasty ass Diet Coke. I've never actually had this before. It's probably going to taste like chemicals. But for 2 calories a can and £1 for 6, it's a no-brainer. Obviously, we're going to have the melon. Now, I always make sure it's going to be nice and squeegee because you want to have that lovely soft interior. There's nothing worse than a boring, flavourless, hard melon. Like I say, we've got the jelly, just purely for the macro contents. You can have like 2 sachets of these. It makes about like 2 pints of jelly, and that's obviously going to fill you up for like 50 calories. Total game changer. These just purely for convenience, dude. I say it's put a bit of boiling water in there. Here's your carbs, and the chicken flavour is beautiful. So another way of saving money is again looking for the whoopsies. Now normally I go for the unseasoned because it's slightly lower calories. But again, I've saved like 50 pence there, and every little helps. These guys, skinny chocoholic drops, or chocogolic as my fitness pal calls them. This is 86 calorie Smarties. Got some almond milk for the ice cream, and some custard flavour skinny syrup because it's the absolute bomb, and it's only $1.50 at the minute. Nowhere near a minimalist in food, but I do try and keep the costs down as much as I can. So Lidl and B&M, absolute goats. Now, other ways I've cut down on clutter is cleaning up my keys. I used to have a lot of like nasty ass, disgusting, horrible key rings and all that sort of stuff. Whereas now I've just got the bare minimum. Am I gonna lose my keys? Probably, but it's just nice having so much less clutter in my pocket. As well, I've also went from this kind of grotty wallet full of change and disused old cards and all that sort of stuff. And I've now gone for a much more minimal and sleek card-only wallet. By the way, this isn't a Ridge Wallet advert. Although, if you guys want to sponsor me, just saying. Okay guys, so on this really soul-bearing episode, I want a lot of people to be like, this house isn't so bad. I've got loads of books and CDs too. But before we go on in the video, guys, I do have a problem with one thing. I might not be a hoarder as such, but there's one thing I have a real problem with keeping. Protein scoops. There's a social study called Dunbar's number, and this suggests that we can only maintain stable relationships with a set amount of people. Now, looking at your Facebook friends list, how many of those people, if you've seen them alone at a bar, would you sit and join them, or would you walk past them and think, oh no, it's Jerry from the Christmas party? Now, in reading about this, I'm starting to wonder if this also applies to physical objects, possessions, and just commitments in your day-to-day life as well. Now, obviously, I'm still only 10 days into this experiment, and it's still very much early days. But already, I think I've been pretty productive, getting rid of physical objects, unfollowing Instagram accounts, deleting Facebook pages, and my life already feels so much less noisy. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other areas in my life where I'm going to have to apply this new principle. But guys, I really think you should possibly give this a go, because even just doing it one day You're surprised how much momentum you generate. Like, you don't even need to do that much. Just go through the cupboards, go through the wardrobes, look at things that you haven't worn, and find some different rules. Like maybe if you've not used something for 6 weeks and you can't see yourself using it again in 6 weeks, ask yourself, do you even really need it? So guys, that is it for another video. Now I've got this new iPhone, I have so much more memory on my phone, so expect better quality and more frequent videos from me. But until then guys, please enjoy this huge haul of stuff that I'm getting rid of already. This is just part 1 of many, and I'm going to keep you updated on my declutter. But until then guys, please consider liking, commenting and subscribing. And until next time, I will see you guys soon.